Well, hello students. This is your zoology lecturer Sangeeta KS, and I hope you all of you seen our syllabus. Mulya ma'am has started you the physiology part, and I'm going to start you the biochemistry part. And in the biochemistry, you have the concepts includes so I'm starting here from the carbohydrates concept. Okay, so this is carbohydrate chapter where you can see here we have already seen the syllabus, which includes mainly the structure, biological importance of monosaccharides, disaccharides, polysaccharides, glycoconjugates, glycolysis, Krebs cycle, ETS, gluconeogenesis. So these are the basic concepts you have in the first chapter, which is carbohydrates. Well, in the overall biochemistry, you have majorly carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and then enzymes and vitamins. So these are the concept you have in the biochemistry. In that, I'm going to teach you now on carbohydrates. This concept is very important. I think you have already familiar with this some concepts of this chapter, like for example glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and glycolysis. So these concepts are you have already studied in your PUC, and some of the concepts you have already studied in the chemistry classes, because biochemistry means in the sense biology with the chemistry means studying of chemical components of living organisms. We say it as biochemistry. Okay, that's why we call it as a biochemistry. And these proteins, carbohydrate, lipids are all called as a biomolecules. Okay, so in this syllabus, in this biochemistry, you are going to study on carbohydrates. Okay, so for the first chapter in carbohydrates, the first chapter of biochemistry is carbohydrates. So now let's see what is carbohydrates. Well, you know that's carbohydrates. As you can see in this picture, you could see several different food varieties. And so this carbohydrate is a more common food item which is we eat every day. Of course, you know that in order to keep your health, you need several nutrients, which includes protein, lipids, and carbohydrates. Of course, all the foods have carbohydrates. So these carbohydrates are nothing but the term itself says carbohydrate means it mainly could separate into two words: carbon and hydrogen. Okay, so carbohydrate, they are actually rich in carbon, hydrogen. Not only carbon, hydrogen, along with it also includes oxygen also. So carbon is rich in carbon, hydrogen, and even oxygen. You will see the components by their structure, okay, in the further video slides. Okay, so this is just I'm saying here how we are actually depend on, or how we much depend on our diet have rich amount of carbohydrate. See, if you take Indians, say most of our foodstuffs what we eat, it is rich in carbohydrates. Or especially if you take South Indians, our food is, we are totally obsessed with the carbohydrate foods. Like for example, if I take so if I ask you what is your breakfast today, you will definitely going to say, at least 50% of you students will say dosa, idli, okay, or any rice items, right? So that means all these foodstuffs, even if you take kadbu, right, all this stuff is rich in carbohydrates. So majorly whatever we eat is actually have rich amount of carbohydrates. So especially that's why I told you we Indians, our meals are highly rich in carbohydrates compared to protein and lipids. Okay, so protein and lipid, that is another one concept I will tell you later. But majorly our food are rich in carbohydrates, right? So then what is this carbohydrate? So carbohydrates are defined as polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketones or compound that yield these derivatives on hydrolysis. Okay, so or simply you could say it as carbohydrates are defined as polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketones which yield one of these derivatives on hydrolysis. This is another one definition. So carbohydrates are the polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketone compounds that will yield these derivatives on hydrolysis. So what is what is this aldehyde and ketones group? So I think you have already know the word, the term aldehyde and ketone groups. See, aldehyde ketones are nothing but these are the organic compounds which have C double bond O as a functional group. Okay, if a compound which have C double bond O as a functional group, then we said, I mean, both in aldehydes and ketones, they actually have C double bond, that means a carboxyl group, they actually have functional, the C double bond O act as a functional group. Okay, so that such components, organic compounds, are called as what we say, aldehydes or ketones. If the compound or if any compound on the hydrolysis, if we get this aldehyde and ketones, then we say it as carbohydrates. And you could see here the structure of carbohydrates. So this is one of these are the two examples of carbohydrates. Okay, like for example, if you take say glucose, fructose, they are actually called as carbohydrates. Okay, if you see the structure of these carbohydrates, the structure will be like this. Okay, so this is actually called as a chain structure. You could see here, so these two are actually chain structure. Okay, so let's take an example, which are all the food sources have rich in carbohydrates. So I told you the everyday food that we take, it is rich in carbohydrates. These are some examples that we use every day, like dairy products, fruit, grains, legumes, starchy vegetables, whatever we eat, it is rich in carbohydrates, right? So yogurt, like means curd, we eat every day, which is rich in carbs. Say carbs is nothing but the short term for the carbohydrate. You could say it as a carbs, or you can say it as a carbohydrate. Or milk, ice cream. Usually, let's take whatever you eat, which is rich in sweet content, that is definitely going to be rich in carbohydrate. Okay, so these are some examples that you use every day, and all these components are rich in carbohydrate. Okay, so now you know the definition of carbohydrates, some of the examples of carbohydrates. So the general formula that is used to represent a carbohydrate is, it will be like this: CnH2ON, where N represents the number of carbon atoms and the number of oxygen atoms. Like for example, let's take an example. So if I have mentioned here, let's take C. In C position, if I have written 6, okay, so that means the formula will be like this, right? C6H2O, right? That means O6, it will be O6. So then it will becomes, what happens here? So if you multiply this n with all these components, so if n is equal to 6, then C6, it will becomes C6, and then n is equal then n into H2O, that means n into 6, that will be, sorry, n into sorry 2 into n means 6, that it will becomes 12. That means C6H12, right? 6 to the 12, and then O into n, so that is 6 again. So that means C6H12O6. And you are already familiar with what is C6H12O6, that is glucose. What it indicates, how many carbons are present in the specific carbohydrate, how many hydrogen are present in that carbohydrate, and how many oxygen present in that carbohydrate, that could be represented by this formula. Okay, if the if n represents specific number, by this you could say that which kind of carbohydrate it is. Like for example, let's take H6 H6H2 sorry C6H12O6 means it is nothing but glucose, right? So it's a very basic common sense. So the general formula for the glucose, C6H12O6. So if you count this number, means in the so that actually represents, so there will be 6 carbon atom will be there, and 12 hydrogen will be there, and oxygen 6 oxygen will be there in the glucose. That is actually here says in this formula, right? If you count, so this is the structure of glucose, right? So this is the structure of glucose. If you count this with that formula, you will definitely get same number of components, like 6 carbon, 6 oxygen and 12 hydrogen. Let's count here just randomly. So they have mentioned here, according to formula, so glucose should have 6 carbon atoms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So totally we have 6 carbon atoms, right? And they have mentioned here how many hydrogen? 12 hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 here, 10, 11, 12. So totally we have 12, or you would say hydrogen, right? Similarly, if you take oxygen, how many oxygen we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So totally we have 6 oxygen atoms. So totally, by this we could say that if we have a formula of any carbohydrate, we could easily understand this structure, or we could easily imagine how many carbon, oxygen and hydrogen present in that specific carbohydrate. So that's why we use this formula. Okay, and the ratio of oxygen and hydrogen in carbohydrate is same as in the water, that is 2:1 ratio. It typically breaks down in the animal body to release energy. So I already told you the term itself, carbohydrate, says carbon and hydrogen. Along with it is also rich in oxygen, right? So if you see the ratio of oxygen with the what do you say, hydrogen, the ratio is same exactly like in water. Like in water you have H2O, right? Exactly. In carbohydrate, the ratio of hydrogen and the oxygen is always in 2:1 ratio. Okay, so these carbohydrate, what is the purpose of this carbohydrate, why it is required for our body, is mainly, it is mainly functions as an energy source. This is very important. The main function of the carbohydrate is the main source of, it is the main source of energy. So that's why we need carbohydrate. Like for example, if you say if you are tired, or if you have run kilometers, say in a sports day, and you're completely tired, they quickly give you glucose powder, right? Why they give you glucose powder? Because glucose itself is a carbohydrate, which is the energy source. That's why they will give you glucose. Okay, means we could clearly say that carbohydrate is the main energy source for our body, not only for body, plant, animals, even for the plants. Okay, so totally these carbohydrates, it can be classified into mainly 3 types. Okay, on the basis of behavior, on the basis of hydrolysis. Okay, so the first one is monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides. So these are the main 3 classifications. So this is a chart which actually represents, say usually we classify the carbohydrates into simple carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates, and this simple carbohydrates further classified into monosaccharides, disaccharides, and complex it further classified into polysaccharides. So but usually if you see many books, in many books they don't give you these kind of complex or simple terms. Instead they will mention you directly monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides. All the types of classification, like if they have mentioned simple and complex, that is also right, or if they have directly mentioned the mono, di or polysaccharides, then we say then it is also right. Okay, so these are some examples for the monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides. Okay, so let's see the first one, the classification monosaccharides. Okay, so this is another one picture which shows the classification of types of carbohydrates. So what is it actually represents? See, I told you, say the classification of these carbohydrates are made on the basis of their complexity, or right, on hydrolysis, or they could say it based on their structure. So you could see here the monosaccharides is a simple sugar. If it becomes more complex, then we call it as a disaccharide. polysaccharide means much more complex structure. It have much more complex. So I will tell you in detail along with the examples right. Okay, in the next slide. So in all these, in this class you are going to study on the first example, which is the first type, which is monosaccharide. Okay, so don't get confused why I have mentioned you that say monosaccharide and I'm writing simple sugar. Both these two terms are same. The term monosaccharide and simple sugar both are same. There is no difference. So usually whenever you say carbohydrates, we always use the term saccharides. Saccharides is nothing but sugar. Okay, simply you could say the sugar. Why we call it as a sugar? Because any food, if you take any food stuff which is rich in carbohydrate, they always taste sweet. Okay, that's why we call it as saccharide, okay, or sugar. Okay, so all carbohydrates are made up of units of sugar, which is nothing but saccharides, and carbohydrate that contain only one sugar unit, we call it as monosaccharides. So the sugar which is have only one sugar unit, we say it as monosaccharide. The only if the sugar or if a carbohydrate only one sugar unit, we say it as monosaccharide. You could see here this is one unit. Okay, if you take disaccharide, it have two units here. If you take polysaccharide, it have multiple units here. Then what is this units? So if you know what is the meaning of unit, then you could clearly understand what is monosaccharide, what is disaccharide. Units are nothing but simple sugars. Like for example, if you see this picture, you could see two types of sugars. Okay, so these like for example, let's take an example. Let's take an example. Let's take an example of here the sugar which is called as glucose here. Okay, sorry, the handwriting is not good. Okay, this is a glucose. Okay, so this is one sugar unit and this is glucose. Okay, similarly you have another one component. Again, this is if you take it as a fructose. Okay, so I will give you one example. So this is a classification of monosaccharides. Okay, monosaccharides are nothing but simple sugar where they have only one unit. Okay, so these monosaccharides can be classified into several types based on number of units. Okay, like for example, based on number of carbon atoms, based on number of carbon atoms, how many carbon atoms present, on the basis of this it can be classified. So based upon this, you could see here the first one is triose, tetrose, pentose, hexose, heptose. So these are the classification made on the basis of number of carbon atoms. So these number, the name of these terms represent number of carbon atoms. Like for example, here you have triose. So triose means these monosaccharide will have only 3 carbon structures, or you could see here the structure will be like this. So I will explain you the structure along with the example. Just I'm explaining here how the structure will be look like. So triose, say the monosaccharide triose will have the structure will be like this, means here one carbon atom, here one carbon atom, here one carbon atom, means it will have 3 carbon atoms. Okay, so here this is one carbon atom, this is one carbon atom, which is triose. Okay, 3 carbon atoms will be there in the simplest sugar, monosaccharide. Remember one thing, triose is the simplest sugar in the carbohydrates. And the example for this monosaccharide is glyceraldehyde dihydroxyacetone. So these two components or these examples are the glyceraldehyde or dihydroxyacetones are the two simplest monosaccharides, or you could say carbohydrates, because they only have 3 carbon atoms. Okay, similarly you could see the tetrose where they will have 4 carbon atoms, pentose they will have 5 carbon atoms, hexose they will have 6 carbon atoms, and heptose they will have 7 carbon atoms. And these are some examples for the these, what you could say, examples for this monosaccharides. In all these, hexose are very important for our body. Which are all the examples for the hexose? Glucose, galactose, mannose, and fructose. In out of 4, glucose, galactose, and fructose are considered the most important nutrients or energy source of our body. Okay, so these hexose are the most important monosaccharides, and again in the exams usually they will ask you some questions which is related to hexoses. Okay, because you know that glucose, galactose, and fructose are the most abundant and energy source for the animal and plant animal body. So let's study some of the examples for hexose. Okay, so these are the hexose sugar. These are some hexose sugars, right? Why we call it as a hexose sugar? In monosaccharide, hexose includes fructose, glucose, fructose, galactose, right? So in the so monosaccharide, why we these three components or these three monosaccharides are called as hexose? Because they have 6 carbon atoms, right? 6 carbon atoms means they should have 6 carbon in their structure. So this is the structure of glucose, fructose, and galactose. Let's take an example of glucose. See the structure of this glucose. So the structure is like this. So each corner of this will represents one carbon atom. Okay. So this is one corner, one carbon atom, two carbon atom, three carbon atom, 4, 5, 6. So totally we have 6 carbon atom. That's why it is a hexose sugar, right? Similarly, if you take fructose, so fructose again it will have 6 carbon atom. Again count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so totally they have 6 carbon atom. Again, if you take galactose, so the structure of glucose and the galactose, there is no such difference in here. The difference, or the only difference is here the position of what do you say, the OH group in the 4th position. Okay, in a 4th prime position you could see the position of OH is shuffled, where here we have H and below we have OH, and here it is exchanged or shuffled, right? So that's the only difference between glucose and galactose. And what are all these components? What is glucose? What is fructose? What is the importance of these three components? Let's see. Well, you know that glucose is also called as dextrose sugar, and this is found in the fruits, honey, any sweet components. You will see that as, or even in the fruits. The fruits also rich in glucose. So why the glucose is very important, and you can see the structure of this glucose here. So this is the structure of glucose, right? And the formula for this glucose, fructose, and galactose is, again, it's a hexose. Remember, it's a hexose sugar. So the formula will be C6H12 and O6. If you count number of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen in all these three hexose sugar, the number of carbon will be 6, hydrogen will be 12, and O will be 6, always 6. Okay, so you know that, so the glucose, again you should have the formula for the glucose is C6H12O6, and the structure of the glucose will be look like this. And why the glucose is very important? Because it's considered as an immediate energy source. What is the meaning of immediate energy? Means, you know, that's I have given you the example. So when you are completely exhausted, when you are in athletes, so for the energy they will give you the glucose. They won't give you the galactose or they won't give you the fructose. They will give you the glucose powder. Why? Because it gives immediate energy. That's why they give you glucose. That means whatever you intake, the food intake, if it is rich in carbohydrate, that food will be stored in the form of glucose. Okay. So of course it will be not directly stored in the form of glucose, instead it will converted it as a glycose. That is secondary. So what the energy source of your body is glucose. Okay. Next is fructose. So fructose, you could see the structure of fructose. So again is an example for hexose sugar, right? It is another one example for the monosaccharide. And you could see here the fructose is nothing but fruit sugar, and it is, why it is called as a fructose, because it is rich in so the fructose sugar is rich in fruits. So why fruits have sweet in taste, like for example if you take sugar cane or apple or any fruit which is rich in sweet, they're actually rich in fructose sugar. That's why we call it as fructose or fructose. Okay. The structure will be like this. Okay. You could see here, so the you won't get confused with the structure of glucose with fructose, because the glucose have benzene like structure, whereas fructose have, the structure will be like this. Okay. So and you will see their OH groups, right? So this is fructose. So the next one is galactose. So what is galactose? So galactose is a constituent of cell wall material called as agar and some marine animals. So of course even it is, you could see this galactose even our food, but more commonly it is very abundant in marine animals, algae. So that is if you see agar, you know that agar, so that is actually rich in galactose sugar. And also even you, whatever you food you intake, the end product of the digestion of carbohydrate, that also becomes galactose. Means remember one thing, whatever you eat, if the food have several types of carbohydrate, that food will be digest as or simplifies as either glucose, fructose or galactose. ನೀವು ಏನೇ ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರ ಫುಡ್ನ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಶುಗರ್ನ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ರು, ಆ ಶುಗರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಬಂದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಫೈನಲಿ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ಸ್ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಮೂರು ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಕ್ಸೋಸ್ ಶುಗರ್. ಓಕೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ನ ಎನರ್ಜಿನ ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗೋದು. ಸೊ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್, ಫ್ರಕ್ಟೋಸ್, ಗ್ಯಾಲಕ್ಟೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಶುಗರ್ ಆರ್ monosaccharides. Okay. So now you got the idea what is galactose, what is glucose, what is fructose, right? So these are the three important examples for monosaccharides. Okay. So I think for today's class, I think this is enough. In the next class, you are going to study about disaccharide and polysaccharide. So overall in today's class, you have learned the definition of the carbohydrate and their formula and the common examples for the carbohydrates, their classification, and the definition of the carbohydrate, monosaccharide, examples for the the types of monosaccharides. In that majorly you have studied hexose sugar. Why it is called hexose sugar? Because it has 6 carbon atoms. Examples for the monosaccharides are hexose sugar, that is glucose, fructose and galactose. And you have already you are also studied what is glucose, the structure of glucose, fructose and their function, importance, and galactose and their importance. So in the next class, you are going to study about disaccharides and polysaccharides. So I hope you all of you understood the concept well. I think this is enough for the today's class. Thank you.